Coming to you today from the Lighter Side Lounge, my name is Summer Joy, and I am currently a college journalism student, and I am here with my dad, Dennis.
How you doing today?
In the last video that we posted, we were talking about the Jade Cargill and Naomi WrestleMania match, and how it is the first non-title women's singles match at a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 22 in 2006. And today, we have the updated numbers of the amount of men's matches that there have been since then that are non-title and singles matches.
It really got your attention, that article, didn't it?
It did. I mean,
I guess when you first said it to me, and I could hear the tone in your voice. I said, "So you're not looking at this like it's a positive, right?"
I just think that the way that it's being presented and the way that it's being talked about is
hang
crazy.
On. Who was presenting it and who was talking about it? Let's not say. It wasn't the WWE.
No, it wasn't. Not that I saw. If it ever is between now and WrestleMania, that's gonna be wild.
The WWE didn't present it that way.
No.
It was kind of floated out there.
Yeah, it was by a few sources.
Yeah, it was floated out there to see, if that big clunky lure going by with the big rusty hooks on it was going to get anybody to bite on it. And we had fun with it, right?
I don't mind taking this bait because it's crazy, in my opinion.
Saying all that, you got the numbers?
I do.
You did the work on it. Now, how long did it take you about?
Maybe a half hour.
A half an hour work. You're a journalist.
That's right.
You had the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just say, "This is the first match," without any comparing numbers, right?
Yep.
It would have made the article
even better.
Oh, hold it. That article definitely was floated out there. Because it wasn't that hard to figure out how many men's matches there were.
Yeah.
How many were there?
Well, before we go too much further,
okay.
In addition to it being the first non-title women's singles match, it's also the first ever in any WrestleMania non-title, non-stipulation women's match.
Women's wrestling has come a long way.
It has. They just introduced new belts. The women's division I feel like every company has gotten so much better. Yeah. The way that they're presented on TV has changed a lot.
And the athletes themselves.
Yeah.
The way they're presented for sure, because the number one reason why my kids didn't watch wrestling when they were growing up, we played the video games, we played the board games, you had trading cards, was because of the way that, in my opinion, now this doesn't have to be yours.
Oh.
Because it was my decision, my opinion, and my decision when you were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We just weren't going to watch it.
Yeah.
We didn't watch it, right?
Yeah.
You had to get us into wrestling.
And it took a lot of work, I will say.
It did, because
it took years of grinding.
Because after not watching it all those years, I just figured, well, what are we going to be coming back to, right? That was one side of me. The other side of me was I remembered how much I liked it growing up. It's such an escape.
It is.
When it's done right, it's such an escape. I knew it was going to be potentially... I don't want to go into this whole story again, but look where we are now, right?
Yeah.
Look where we are now.
That's the truth.
So
part of a big reason I'm double majoring and one of them is in journalism is because of wrestling.
Yeah, because you found out you couldn't actually.
I wanted to get in the ring.
Yeah. So for other reasons you can't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, basically, for your safety and for the safety of the others. So you're going to do the next best thing, right?
Yeah.
You're going to become a kick journalist, right?
That's right.
So, huh?
Nothing. I got it.
So what do you got for the rest of this? So
okay, so I have the numbers here. So I said that it was the first ever non-title, non-stipulation match. I didn't have it in me, quite honestly, to go back and count all of the non-title, non-stipulation singles men's matches that there have been in all the WrestleManias. Because going back to just WrestleMania 23, it was enough. It was enough in my opinion. So in terms of non-title, non-stipulation, there have been 43 men's matches since WrestleMania 22.
Okay.
Total non-title and men's singles matches, there's been 66.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm not gonna say that there wasn't forces working against women's progression. I'm not gonna say that in the old company.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna say though that I hope it's gonna change, and
Yeah.
it looks like it is changing.
I think it is.
And women's wrestling has come a long way
Yeah.
in 20 years.
So my dad and I, we've been talking about this. And as you all saw in the last video, I was fired up about this. I was really angry, to be quite honest. We brought out the Rock'em Sock'em robots and everything. And through our conversations, I've come to realize, and I do believe that this is true, is that this whole statistic, and a lot of them that are probably out there that I haven't found yet, regarding how far women's wrestling has yet to come, presents a big opportunity for all of the women that are currently in wrestling and thinking about getting into wrestling. That can't be me for medical reasons, but all of the women in NXT and all of the women that are on the main roster and any other company and the indie circuit that I've seen are truly phenomenal athletes. And I have no doubt that them and anybody who decides to join them in the ring is going to take women's wrestling very far, to where these statistics and these facts are nowhere to be seen because it's just going to become a regular occurrence. And I'm really excited to see where that goes. And I think that presents a really unique opportunity for all of the women that are thinking about getting into wrestling to become part of the trailblazers that are already in it, because it's definitely come a long way. We saw it in NXT, and these new belts, all of the women that are holding these new belts are truly phenomenal athletes.
I'm interested in what the office is like now compared to what we heard it was like under the old management.
The old regime.
The older regime, right? We've heard the rumors all about that stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen the numbers.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering about the writers,
Yeah.
the agents, the producers.
That's interesting.
Women's wrestling and women athletes in general have also come a long way in 20 years.
Yeah, they have.
Right?
For sure.
I mean, it's amazing what you guys can do between, taking care of a family and doing the clothes and doing the dishes and making sure all your chores are done, and then still having time to excel at athletics, right? These numbers reflect the opportunity to me,
Yeah.
right?
Especially because things are changing.
Things are changing fast. Things are changing fast right now. There's even a girl power show coming up close to us. Did you see that advertised?
I did.
Maybe we'll be able to catch that. Maybe we can catch that and do a little review on it. Maybe
That'd be fun.
if I'm not sure what we got going
Yeah.
on that day, but let's really try and turn this into a positive, right? Because
I got the anger out with the Rock'em Sock'em robots last time.
yeah, because it's a little bit of a surprise.
It
right?
is.
Just tell it for what it is.
Yeah.
Man.
You got to acknowledge it. Otherwise, there's some weird stuff if you don't acknowledge
it's
it.
like you can't gaslight.
Yeah.
You can't gaslight the fans or family, right?
Nope.
You can't play those kind of games because people see right through that. Look at this crap.
Yeah.
You seen that article and boom, right? And then it was like, well, how many men's matches there has? But I give it to those guys for floating that article out there and seeing what kind of traction it
I'll
would
take
get.
the bait any day if it's something like this. And if it's
That was
easy to
great.
find, easy enough to find,
That was
I had to
great,
do a little
man.
digging, but
Props to you guys for floating this out there. Oh, this is the first one.
well, I also do think that
They meant it in just an innocent way.
no, oh gosh,
Okay.
no. No, this is separate from the article, actually. I realized that my train of thought derailed. I was gonna say that there's been time now between when the old regime ended and when the new one started to where like now we're actually seeing change.
Yeah,
that
I
make
think
sense?
we are. I think we're seeing change.
Yeah.
I
Like
think we are.
I feel like
I
this,
think that's the best way
yeah.
to end this video.
Yeah. Like I
We're
feel like
seeing change.
and this WrestleMania, I know last WrestleMania, and I think 39 also was technically under the new regime, but I feel like this is the first one that like we're really
That
seeing.
there's not going to be any spillover.
Yeah, like we're really seeing change this time.
Yeah. Yeah,
And in the past few months.
I agree. I think that's how we should end it. There's new belts
Yeah.
recently.
I'm excited.
Things are getting better.
Yep.
I can't wait to talk about that other match that we just heard about.
I
We just
know.
heard about that match. I was worried about this WrestleMania
I was
until
too.
I heard about. How come you're looking at me like that?
No, what? Like what?
Smile.
I'm trying. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I have
We
resting
gotta
think
practice.
face.
Yeah, we gotta practice smiling and thinking. We gotta smile more on here. I smile a lot, but when that camera goes on, my eyes close and I have to really force the smiles. So, and I don't care if some of this is in the video, because this is all new, guys. We're sharing our journey with yous, and I think, and I'm not afraid to show you some of the mistakes we've made and some of how this channel is going to grow, because we're really being us.